apart from that round, froyotech seemed so much in control. So much in control. They didn't really do anything apart from getting that round 7, I mean. And so what can Se7en be talking about right now? Are they just, is it only mid, do you think, or it's more like about the map as a whole?
I think it's the map as a whole. I think it's more about their exchanges between themselves and froyotech. froyotech seem to be dealing with everything that Se7en's throwing at them, especially when it comes to throwing Adiski and AMS towards them. So they're getting these two soldiers, and they're just dealing with them really well. They're packaging them up into neat little corners and just making sure they go down as quickly as possible. And I feel like Se7en need to... I can't believe I'm going to say this. Se7en need to slow it down for a second.
They might, yeah, like, because they're getting crushed on middle. And one thing that's kind of bothering me for Se7en is that, remember, process first mid. Adiski dies after 10 seconds, and right away, Kedus and his teammates, they leave the middle. Yeah. Here, Tiger dies, and somehow Kedus and Stocky kind of get stuck in choke. They don't want to leave. They're kind of in between. Should we stay? Should we leave? Yeah. And this kind of decision, they have to be made really quickly. Yeah. And a proper play, well, it's easy to say after, but a proper play would have been to fall back and secure health and players alive onto second point. And I feel like it's like as if Se7en is playing into froyotech's game plan. They're trying to be, froyotech is playing aggressive, and it's as if Se7en is thinking, okay, we can be as aggressive as froyotech, and let's show them what we can do. And this isn't really working, so Kedus needs to realize this, and I'm pretty sure he does. I mean, he's the brain here. I am not. And right now they need to figure out what's wrong and slow things down, because if Bani feels fear and flows into that Se7en's defense, he's not going to break that wall. He's going to destroy it.
Yeah. I'm just like the mid fights. I feel like they're losing their soldiers too quickly. Yeah. I feel like a good old, bit of patience from Adiski and AMS right now. I think that's what Kedus might be talking to them about when it comes to the mids, is get things nice and calm. But we will see, because we're going to back into the game.
So we'll see if the changes need to be effective, and they need to happen now. Because if this is another row for froyotech, that pause will have been worth nothing.
Yeah. So hopefully they've got a bit of the speed out of froyotech, as Kedus and Habib are coming at the same time. We're going to see a lot of spam going on to froyotech, and Se7en, like AMS gets picked up. Adiski goes in and tries to pick up Habib. Habib cleans up both of them, but the entire Se7en is bunched up. They lose Kedus, they lose Tiger, they lose the last Saki.
It's even worse. Even worse.
Anything.
It's like on previous meet, the same thing happened, but at least 2 people from froyotech died. Here, it's a perfect wipe. It's an ace, 6-0. And they tried to go for Habib. The sync wasn't there, and somehow Se7en got stuck in mid, didn't leave early enough, and froyotech is already pushing last.
Yeah, and things are kind of equaled out. The pace has gone, but Bani's just looking at them. Getting that information, not being able to deny him because they know they got the Uber, is kind of really unfortunate for Se7en, because Bani's kind of calling their position, knows where things are, calling what he can see, and with a Pyro on Talash, they're going to try and deny this Uber as much as possible. Kedus is actually in a really interesting position, and Yobs is looking for him, but not able to do it, as Kedus just gets into good...
Oh, they got the cap!
They get the cap. They weren't able to get the bodies on point, and that's 4-1 with 20 minutes left on the game.
And Gabriel throws in the question marks, and this time I kind of agree with him. What happened here?
Kedus was 2, so...
Yeah, he wasn't there, and he completely forgot about the point.
Yeah, well, the classic position for a demo is to hold just right behind point.
Yeah.
He was holding underneath point, and he was too far away. He wasn't able to deny anything, but we've got big bombs coming out of Yomps and Garbugo. Starkey, nice serve from him. Keeps himself alive, but it's not enough. Arik goes for the cleanup. Adiski going down, but Yorick... Yobs, Arik, Habib, Garbugio all end up going
Tiger
down.
2 shots, Bani!
Oh,
he tries to go for Cookie Jake.
Cookie Jake's still alive, but Tiger's going to hopefully clean him up, gets him down.
That pistol was godlike. Yes. Out of 5 bullets, I think 4 hits Cookie Jake.
And
Tiger with the BM in chat.
Wow.
And Bani with the retaliation. This is going to be epic.
Oh. Look at that smack talk in chat. Oof.
I don't know what's happening. I feel like
I feel like we shouldn't be showing that on stream. I think someone's been maybe poisoning someone else. But back to the game.
And it's a bit like what I said. I feel like sadly Se7en is kind of buying into a froyotech game plan, and that what we saw in chat was the perfect evidence of that.
Yeah, and Habib, a lot of pressure from him on big door, looking to, you know, get a lot of damage. Got Thalash super low. We've actually got Arik, Banny above. He's having a fight with Tiger right now. He's looking to go into lobby, maybe come through that under area or shadow. Tiger's just not letting him do anything. But during that Ams and Yoms trade, Banny goes down, so they've got that one-player advantage right now.
Look at Arik. He's behind, and I don't think he's seen.
Yeah, they haven't seen Arik, but he's not able to, you know, do much right now. As Adiski goes in and tries to connect onto Habib. Habib, nice solid pipes. Bit of BM with the taunt as well.
I think Tiger really, this is not like him to do what I'm going to say, but he should actually stop caring about chat, because I feel like this is not helping his team at all. And he needs to focus back on the game, because if things keep it that way, Fro will be in the grand final and Se7en will have a meeting in the lower bracket.
Yeah, and right now we've got a classic Uber hold situation. Se7en needing to find a way to break through the froyotech lines and, you know, get things into advantage for them. Sadly, right now it's not looking too great for Se7en. They're going to have to try and get some pace, get things into their sort of control, but I think it's all Froyo's game right now.
Yeah, it's 4-1 already. It's as if the best thing now for Se7en is that they haven't conceded a round in the last 3 minutes. So which is probably the best thing that could have happened to them right now, considering how things went. But now they need to make something happen, because even though there's 17 minutes remaining, this is a lot of time, but they're already 3 rounds down, so they need to make something happen, and they don't really have much time to waste. I can see Tiger already trying to make his way through big door, maybe getting a bait. We can see Kato setting up some stickies. But right now the game is in the hands of froyotech, and they can be really good at keeping that control.
Yep, and again, it's just they're looking to create something. A big bomb in from Ams, not able to connect the second shot on the Cookie Jake. He surfs away and gets the pack. But why are they sending in one player? This is not what we need from Se7en. We don't need that sort of classic one-player sack.
Yeah,
we need to try and force Cookie Jake into a bad position using his team. They do pick up Arik though.
And
so that's
I think is like why send Ams? I agree, and especially Ams. I mean, you can send Andiski and have him coming back as an off class, but Ams is gonna stay pocket whatever happens.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And
this
they've
is
actually gone into an Uber. They managed to pick up Yoms. They're trying to pick up other players, but the Uber has actually been forced out for Froyotech. They're looking to clear up people here or there. They get Garbugio down. They managed to break this stalemate, and Se7en are looking to push in.
Oh, look at that! Look at that clever sticky trap from Habib right in the corner of the second point, and I wouldn't be surprised to see someone getting caught by that. But no, and nobody from Se7en is going on top. Everybody's just playing the ground. So unlucky for Habib. No blind dead this time, and it's an even Uber situation. I don't think Starkey and his teammates can push with that 10% Uber ad they have. And now I think this is the first time we can see froyotech with a proper setup on their last on Gullywash. I
think we've seen it before, but
I mean, what I mean is this is gonna be a even Uber situation.
Yeah.
Previously it was they had disadvantage.
And we have a certain little Frenchman in the game, not yourself, for the spy. Sorry, that was really bad. I love you really on Brack. But yeah, we're gonna see Duski just. This is all about his patience once again. He's in a really good position. He just needs to decloak when he can. He's getting as far back. It doesn't
look like Froyo expects it.
No, they don't. No, Banny's checking right now. I think Banny might have bumped, or they're thinking
Banny's
about
checking,
it.
But kind of loosely, you know. Yeah. And the thing is, Adiski needs to be patient. But the more he waits, the more Froyo will think that something's going on.
Yeah, they're trying to do something. Like Se7en need to be doing other things. Banny checking underneath.
They don't know.
They know that there's a
it's like
they found
Arik.
No. Oh, that's so close.
Almost bumps into Yoms, but nothing.
The Tiger actually trying to go into lower, trying to force things out against Cookie Jake.
Perfect play.
Absolutely
perfect setup
perfect.
play.
And Habib's just straight onto that point, trying to deny it. Thalash going to go in with the Uber. Come on, Se7en, you can do it. Clean up the players you need to.
W 2 HP, Yom 7 HP. They finally died to Starlash and
Banny
Tiger.
on that heavy.
Can
He's
they
going to
get the
get
cap?
onto Tiger. No. Where's the rest of the 7 players? They're all getting knifed by Banny. They get it, and that is a round on the board. That's the second one for Se7en. 4-2.
Eventually something happened, and you gotta praise Adiski because he got the stab, but that distraction from both Tiger and Amps, that was really, really good. And I'm kind of wondering, why didn't Froyo expect it? I mean, it's easy to say from our perspective. They got dropped the first time on process. They got it again, and now it's 4-2 with 30 minutes remaining. There's still hope for Se7en.
Yeah, there is still hope, and they've gone in some nice pressure from them. They're looking to catch someone. They get Garbugio. Am's going down, but Yomps, in response, both soldiers down for froyotech. Adiski going over the top. He's onto Cookie Jake. Cookie Jake manages to survive, but Banny goes down as well. froyotech are going to have to back off, and Se7en a bit more in the driver's seat right now off that.
Well, they need that. They need that if you want to be back. And Garbudio got completely obliterated. He tried to jump, but Ams, I think that was Ams who shot him in the head as he was trying to jump. So Garbudio just cradled and then got cleaned up. Tiger dives. Yeah, I think he was behind trying to go the force, and Cookie Jake didn't really work out. Arek is trying to go in.
Tiger actually getting picked up by a sticky from Habib. Just means that we're going to see that classic Uber v Uber stalemate, but Tiger could come back on Sniper. We may see it or hold the door open. He's not doing so. What are we going to see out of Arek? Maybe we're going to see him on Sniper. We haven't seen him that much during this. They get the force! Adiski gets the force onto Cookie Jake. That's absolutely perfect. They're going to have to back out. They're looking to even go into battlements right now. They know they're going to wait for the 7 push. They're looking. There's 2 players up top. 3 all just barreling down onto Thalash, but they use the Uber. They're going to catch Arek. They're going to look at those players up on top right now. They need to bomb someone forward, but the distraction plays from froyotech have cleaned up Cadus. They're going to pick up some other players now. Tiger going down. Starkey trapped in. He's going to get picked up. He's super low.
Adiski's back in.
He goes for it. Starkey gets picked up, and I think, Am's going in. They're all sacked for Cookie Jake, but his team kept him alive, and Thalash, we may see a bit of a hero shot out of him. He's got a very interesting angle.
Is someone gonna pick that angle of Thalash? I don't know. He's trying to go forward. Nobody knows. Yomps and Banny both feel that the Danish sniper is gonna be there around, so they don't do that. And again, we saw that process earlier, but they got the force out of Cookie Jake, and they kind of rushed the situation. They had more time to heal up, and then got their spawner back. They didn't really need to go in straight away, and I feel like they kind of feel pressed by the time.
Yeah, and Yomps actually helping clean up Adiski. Just a lot of pressure from him. They've kind of wrapped around a lot of the 7 players, and froyotech getting into that lobby, looking again for an opportunity. They've got that 40% ad. We know that they like that pressure. Banny again looking for the off passes. They see that they're not able to get it quickly. Tiger, Cadus all on his own. They've got to time on the point. We're going to have the 7 players go up top, and the cap has happened.
That's crazy.
For froyotech.
Nobody's dead, and they just focus the cap time, and they get it because nobody contests it, because someone is pressuring Cadus from underneath, so nobody, and the rest of Se7en is hiding in spot because they don't want to die. So Banny knows what's best to do is just go on the cap and just wait here and just almost be AFK and just get the cap. It's already 5-2 now to froyotech.
froyotech ate them up during that last push. Tiger was not able to do anything. Cadus was completely denied, and on this mid, we haven't seen any good connections. Cookie Jake has 8 health though. Adiski going to go in. He's going to clean up Banny. Arek going down. Adiski getting cleaned up by Habib, but Cadus in a good position to deal the damage onto somebody. Habib taking a lot. Thalash getting Cookie Jake, and now they need to get Habib, but they've lost Starkey. He dies a little bit earlier, so they're going to have a little bit of an Uber ad, but it's not going to be too much.
It's 10 minutes now. 3 rounds. Grumpy Coy, can they do it? This is going to be really hard. Look at Starkey. He knows he doesn't have enough time. He's going for the creeps play, and maybe expected they're still on the regular Uber app. With Starkey dying earlier. Oh no, why are they fading already? They get 2 frags. Cadus dies.
They get Arek as well. Banny battling a lot of players. They do lose Cadus, but there is a lot of 7 players in good positions. They picked up Carbugilo. They've lost Tiger, but again, Adiski in a good position. Thalash going down though. Starkey all on his own. Just got absolutely picked apart piece by piece
He
by
needs
piece.
to
Come on,
die.
Snarky! He's got the Uber!
It's a
No!
He does.
it's
He
crits.
should have killed himself.
Oh, yeah, it's crits.
Why again?
Oh.
Why did they fed so early on? They had the crits ad. What's the point of going crits if you're going in anyway? I don't know what happened.
I thought that was an Uber.
Oh no.
I'm so disappointed. I would have been sick if that was an Uber. Oh well. We even mentioned it was a crits earlier, but back into it. Habib getting forward, getting a lot of pressure onto 7 players. They're not really set up for this last hold. They're going to have to back out. We're going to maybe see Adiski looking for something, but right now, froyotech very confidently going forward. I think they want to put the final nail in the coffin for 7 on this game.
They might have to, because the more rounds they do now, the better for them in the grand final. Because if they play 7 again, they will have the mental edge. So if they can take more rounds, Bunny will just grab them. So they will want to go with the Uber ad. But again, I feel like old 7 would have waited for that Chris.
Yeah, I feel like they should have waited. Tiger's actually just decided to go and not wait for them. Got the early force, which they've always needed. The sentry gun has gone down. They have lost only Tiger, though. There's play for point. There's no one denying Yoms. Finally, Cadus goes in. Adiski on top of there, trying to deny Yoms. Yoms actually cleans him up. Cadus trades with him. It's a wipe for 7. That's 6-2 on the board. Froyo, I think that's the final nail in the coffin for 7 for this best of 3.
Yeah, I don't think they will pick Gullywash again.
No, I don't think they will. I think they'll definitely. It was a lot closer on process, so that's something that 7 are very much going to want to have on here. Neither team's going to pick Product though, so we may see this getting banned by 7. But Habib actually going down really quickly. Garbugio down as well. Banny down. Cookie Jake just on his own gets the saw. Banny cleans him up though. They're going to get Arik. Yomps down. That's going to be a mid for 7.
That's enough time to make 4 rounds. This is going to be really, really tight, but they have enough time if they make it really, really quickly.
They need to just get the pace going. They're already on to second. Banny's actually on the sniper right now, so we haven't seen that. He's up in that top area. I don't know if anyone's going to be aware of him. He's not able to do much.
No time for 7. They need to go as soon as they can. They need to gather the 6 players, and they need to make this push count.
They need to get those buffs on people. They've got a decent amount. They're going to look to push on that left-hand side. Garbaglio and Yomps are looking for the deny. Arik denying really nicely.
Arik is owning them!
No, 7 are not able to even get through the shutter door. Cadus gets picked up. They managed to trade it for Yomps, but Adiski may be able to make some sort of play here, but he gets spotted out by Garbugio. Thalash in lobby, but 7 are going to have to back out, wait for Cadus to come back. But the Uber advantage is now going to be in froyotech's favor.
6 minutes for 4 rounds. This is now looking good for 7. Cookie Jack has the Uber. Banny is ready. He's having his gun getting built. And basically, Arik, as Pyro, did what Tiger couldn't achieve on the previous push from froyotech. He just completely denied the Uber from 7 onto that shutter door. Nobody actually was able to go through the door because Arik did such a good work at air blasting everyone. Ubers are even. It's not up to 7 to do something if they want to have a slimmest chance to go back into that game.
Yeah, right you are. And Cadus looking for maybe somewhere to go, being very similar to how Banny is, just trying to make that decision. Tiger actually going for the point play right now. They're going to look to see if they've pulled any players away, but Tiger went down so quickly that they weren't able to do anything. May see an off class, may see that spy again, something out of them that they need to do.
It's really hard for 7 now because there's not enough time to make it back, or barely. So you have to play out these 5 minutes, even though you know they're worth nothing. Yeah. And you don't really want to give away, like you don't want to go into garbage time because that would just show to Froyo that you gave in.
Up. Yeah. And Tiger going for the play again, and no one's kind of called it. They got the sentry gun down. Tiger starting to create something. Adiski going over the top. Tiger now trying to battle Garbugio. If he's able to take him down. Oh, Ams, nice pressure from him. 7 trying to pick apart Froyo's defense right now, and Tiger's super low, but they're looking at different opportunities. If they're able to pull players away, they get the sentry gun once again, but still, Umbrak, they're not able to do much.
Yeah,
Bunny's
I
just
don't
going to
really
change
get
the
it.
spot for it.
They're not really doing anything.
That sentry spot from Bunny's really important. Okay, I'm not going to ask.
Well, there's not much going on right now. Se7en's not eager to do anything, and Frio, well, they don't have to do anything, so it should be. We could as well be in for a stalemate that will last 4 minutes unless Se7en wants to do something. But right now, I feel like Se7en's might be kind of bummed out. They try to check the Uber, but again, a wreck. What a shot from a wreck!
He just denials everyone. Garbigo going down, but they pick up Tiger. Am's getting picked up by the sentry gun. They're not able to really do anything. Adiski's behind.
Arek got 2 frags and then taunted.
Oh,
I mean,
absolute BM. But I think right now, like Froyo's mentality, they know that they've won this. I don't see any way of Se7en bringing this back. So they're going to just try and squash the enemy team.
They won the online game, so now they're trying to win the psychological warfare. So they have one more edge into the finals.
Yeah, well, you never know. We could have an upset. Do we know?
Yeah,
I guess
that's actually quite true.
It's not guaranteed that Se7en are going to be in the final. We could have an upset. It's happened before. I don't think it will, but it's happened before in many cases. Bunny just with the BM. I think it is garbage time.
Well.
Very much garbage time. He just killed Bunny with the shotgun as engineer. They've got the engineer on mid. Habib is just chilling out. The Adiski trying to make something happen. They managed to get a nice shot on a Yomps. But I think this is very much that garbage time. So we can kind of speak about this. Uber coming out. I don't feel like this is very organized by either team. I think.
You remember, we mentioned control chaos. This is just chaos right now.
Yeah. This is just chaos. We don't have any logs for this game either. Apparently they failed. But we'll try again and see if we can get them.
So yeah, pretty convincing win from froyotech. I mean, there's still 2 minutes, but I'm sorry to spoil you, chat, but 2 minutes aren't enough to make it back when you're 6-2 down. Kados dies, Amps dies, but at this point, this is just pretty much reading kill feed. There's no much point to whatever's happening right now. So
I feel like Se7en weren't able to play against just the aggression and the speed that froyotech brought to that game. I feel like they just had a much stronger, more controlled play style, and Se7en were always on the back foot from the word go. And I feel like Se7en need to rework their map pool in how they're going to engage something. Adiski getting a shot onto Garbigo was quite a nice shot, but
that's the
still
least he can do right now. There's not much more that can be done. But yeah, I feel like Se7en didn't really play on their strength. They try to. Again, I feel like they just try to match froyotech's aggression, but I don't think that's a proper answer if you want to beat them. Well, it obviously wasn't on Gullywash. He kind of was on process, but here it was kind of a misread of the situation. So now, when you're Se7en, so you're going into the lower bracket, you need to get your composure back, because I mean, it's not because you're a favorite team in EU that you're back in the finals no matter what. You still have games to win now, and I'm pretty sure this heavier loss will hurt them in the heads. So they really need to flesh up a bit and try to go back into action, because they won't have much time to think about what happened. They will need to go back into action really quickly and to react properly as the champions they want to be.
Yeah, I feel like this is all down to a very sort of indecisive and inconsistent Se7en, and a very, single mind focused froyotech. And I feel like this is a very different froyotech that played last night, where they were very tired and hungover. And I feel like they've kind of proven their point to Se7en, saying we're not going to be pushovers like last time. But congratulations to froyotech. And so froyotech win by 2 maps to none. It's kind of unfortunate for them.
Well, quite convincing from froyotech as well.
Se7en, but
quite convincing from froyotech.
Very convincing.
That process was close, but on Gullywash, I don't think there was much that could have been done for Se7en, except from trying something really, really different from what they tried. But really impressive showing of dominance from froyotech and Banny.
Yeah, but apparently we've got logs.
Oh, do we?
So we may be able to have a look at that. Do we have logs?
We do.
Okay, we do. And sorting by damage, I am not surprised to see
Habib.
you got what you wanted.
Half of it.
Half of it. Habib, top damage.
Banny
really
as
big
well.
work from him, especially during the start of those mids. He just did so much, and he adapted really, really well.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most important things. Is we talk about his DM and his ability to frag like nobody's business, but when it actually comes down to the knowledge and the decision making, I feel like he is one of the top up there, because he knew, oh, okay, so that's what the soldiers are going to do this mid. I died so quickly. So instead of going, oh, but my team won, he's like, how can I make it more convincing? How can I stay in the fight as much as possible
and
for my team?
He didn't need 2 or 3 mates to understand.
No.
He needed 1 mid, and then right after that was it. That was he knew what to do.
And then you got Banny, not surprising as well, huge amount of damage. I feel like he was really impactful.
Yeah, him and Arik. Look at the frags from Arik as well. 30 frags. I feel like their Ska combo was so good and so dominant over Thalash and Tiger, because I feel like Thalash kind of not outperformed, but well, maybe outperformed actually.
Yeah.
He's playing Pocket Ska, but still got the lowest damage of everyone. And on mid especially, I feel like on many occasions it was just Cadus and Starkey kind of left alone.
I actually wanted to have a quick look at the medic's deaths, if we could quickly.
That was 8 to Cookie and 12 to Starkey.
8, 12 to Starkey, okay, with 11. 9. I was actually more interested in the damage taken as well, because it was kind of show you the positioning decisions between the 2 medics. So yeah, if we just have a look at the damage, surprisingly similar. So I feel like Jake may have been playing a little bit more aggressive during this game.
And froyotech won more convincingly, so maybe that's the key for Froyo to be more dominant than how they were on process.
Okay, but yeah, so pretty convincing. Bit disappointing. I like it closer.
A tad.
Yeah, we do love our boys, but we're gonna go over to the couch.
Let's go.
And give it to them. Turbo, tag you're it. And we'll go from there. You can explain what that is to everyone watching.
A perfect artist rendition of our young Banny, Grant, Vincent here. Beautiful. There's even like a little Easter egg on the back there. Anyway, welcome back to the couch. I'm TurboTabs. I'm your boy. I'm your host. I'm joined with the boys. You've got your EU boy. I've got your NA boy. I've kept it very non-biased here on the couch. I'm a professional. So they do have names though. We've got Epoli joining us here from the EU, and we've got NA Bearodactyl, or Bear as I like to call him myself. Bear, this is your first time on the couch, so welcome. How are you enjoying LAN so far?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I've had a good time playing in the open bracket, just chilling out.
Yeah. Apparently, this is Grumpy Coy's phone, so I thank you.
Nice Turbo.
Okay, now he said to get rid of it, okay, and I'm getting rid of it.
It's
All
gone.
right. So we've just watched froyotech versus Se7en, possibly, obviously, the most concentrated match of the entire LAN event. Is there any initial knee-jerk reactions coming out from you two so far? Have you guys been focusing on a particular team at all, or just a particular aspect of the game? I'm going to start with you, Epoli.
I think it was interesting kind of going into this. I didn't see the very start of the first map of Process, but I've been talking to some of the Se7en guys over the LAN and kind of that little bit before the LAN to see how they've been trying to work out how they're going to tackle Froyo. Obviously, everyone knows Froyo is incredibly strong, and it was interesting looking, they looked at a few demos, they looked at a few stream VODs and this kind of stuff, and they thought they worked a few things out. Looking at that game, it did seem that what appeared to be some of Froyo's weaknesses when they were playing online didn't seem anywhere near as weak when they actually got to the LAN and started playing. Like I said, Process was definitely much closer, but in terms of Gullywash as a map for froyotech, they're just so incredibly strong.
Was there anything jumping out at you from that game, Bear, when you were watching in the crowd? I just kind of plucked you from the crowd, really, and
Yeah, so for me, having played with him in Sweden, Gullywash is Habib's best map by far. Like, he's so good at that map. So, like, looking as a spectator, it seems almost weird that they would pick Habib's by far best map. Like, he's able to do so much damage on that map. Like, being someone playing against them, I would just be like, nope, we're not playing this map. This is just too hard for us. But, yeah, my knee-jerk reaction watching was just the aggression. Like, seeing how Froyo watches an Uber come in from choke. They say, oh, we're not backing up. We're going to jump back in and jump Yomps and Eric in. Like, the aggression is so unparalleled compared to how Se7en, they just back up their whole team. So I think that was, like, looking from the spectator, I thought that was the big difference that made it for them. Like, they just do not fear Ubers. They just have the numbers. They go deep. You know what I mean?
Was there anybody in the particular matches, in your opinion, that was, like, just really overperforming, like going like 110%? It could be from either side, really, but I'm going to start with you, Epley. Was there anybody like really just firing off this match?
I think, well, like Bear said, like Habib is just a powerhouse on that map, but to me, obviously, you know, part of it is just Froyo as a team being incredibly good. Talking about Gullywash in particular, to me, almost kind of a consolation, I'd imagine, for Se7en. It seemed like what made Froyo so good at Gullywash was some very Gullywash specific stuff. Like, if you lose mid after mid after mid, whereas they didn't lose those mids in that same way on process, I feel like that's more of an issue with the map than necessarily like some real individual play. You know, it just seems like Froyo's really, really understood how to take that mid, how to take control, and just Se7en hasn't quite so far. I think it was less individual play from Froyo, more kind of, you know, mastery of the map, really.
Yeah. Over on the first day, obviously, Se7en beat Froyo. Everyone got very excited, but now Froyo has come back very, like, just with a thunderous sort of slap back against Se7en, and it's kind of been like almost an awakening for EU. And do you think like this is just how things are going to be from this point, Bear, or do you think Se7en can actually recover from this?
I think they can recover. I feel bad as the NA fanboy saying that the EU has a chance, but honestly, I think they can do it. I think it'll be a good grand final, assuming that they do make it. But yeah, Froyo, I think like Yomps was playing super well, Purple Shirt was playing super well. Like they were all, as he said, they were all just playing as a cohesive unit. I think Se7en has to just step their game up and figure out the mids for Gullywash, for example. Like Habib was just shutting them down. If they're going to play that map again, they need to figure out how to make it to middle without wiping.
Now, the last thing I wanted to kind of mention, or maybe get into, might even go in on a tangent, but I couldn't help but go back behind my boy Se7en. I just wanted to have a look, see kind of, you know, past the veil what they're talking about, because you don't really get to see that on stream. And my God, have I never seen so much like bad mouthing and BM between Tiger, Banny, and just all these players. And I've got to know, guys, is it like a serious thing? Are these players actually like hating each other this much, or is it just like, you know, just, you know, a bit of fun, just like it's not really past the game, you know, they're all friends, or is there some actual like rivalry there? I think
there's been for years and years and years now, there's kind of like friendly like rivalry between like EU, NA, this whole, you know, EU's better, NA's better. But I think kind of, you know, a little bit as time goes by with NA, you know, winning this and that, and, you know, they won both reruns. I think it's becoming a bit more of like a, you know, like maybe not like a personal thing, but just, you know, the fact that they're really wanting to prove a point. You know, they don't want us to be another land where, you know, Froyo comes in and they dominate their competition and they're not really contested, whatever. They're trying to prove a point here. They're trying to, you know, put their foot down and say, no. Like, you may be the best in America, but that doesn't make you the best in the world.
Is it okay, Ben? Do you hate us? Do you just hate us? I'm sorry, we'll try and stop being jealous.
I don't think I'm a hater. Honestly, I like to hope that Tiger and Banny aren't actually like legitimately hating each other, but that it's just friendly banter in the game, you know, like trying to prove a point and have that rivalry. Like talking in chat, it doesn't reflect what you're actually going to do in real life. Everyone gets drunk and hangs out together, and we're all chill after LAN. But during the tournament, you got to heat up, try and say some bad words, get them tilted, you know, the psychological warfare.
Yeah. Speaking of the psychological, let's get a bit more into that. Like, does it really affect players at this caliber? Do you ever get like riled up, Bear, when someone's just typing just absolute garbage in that chat?
Well, I don't think we should say that I'm necessarily at this level, but I think, yeah, sometimes it does. Like, after a whole game of getting rolled by somebody and they keep talking in chat, like, it can definitely get to you. I don't think Banny is going to really get tilted by people saying stuff because he's played for so long, and you know, most of the Froyo guys, I feel like, have enough sort of mental fortitude to not really get tilted. But I've seen Habib tilt over some stuff people say in chat, so I don't know. Anything's possible.
Okay. How about you, Eeply? A lot of people say, like, bad-mouthing in esports, it just doesn't deserve to be there. It's just bad sportsmanship. Some see it as a very active part and a very nice sort of, like, extra juicy thing to add to the esports, kind of adding some drama and some storyline in there. But what do you think is, like, the right way to look at it, in your opinion?
I think for the sake of the viewers, it's absolutely fantastic. You know, most of that kind of BM at this level, it comes between players which have a mutual respect for each other. You know, they know they're both players at the very top of their field, so there's going to be a bit of a BM, you know, a bit of kind of, you know, back and forth. But ultimately, in the end, you're like, fair play, it was a good game. You know, you played better, you played worse, like whatever, that kind of thing. I think specific to Se7en, it was a really interesting point which was brought up in shameless plug, the Se7en documentary, which was made about Rewind. The point was made about this Crowns roster before Se7en was always kept very quiet. They weren't like a real passionate team. The idea was to keep their comms quiet, keep their BM, you know, basically non-existent, and just, you know, play methodically, play quietly, that kind of thing. This version of Se7en, especially with the addition of Tiger, they're much more like, they're hype-based. They get much more behind this BM. They find that kind of release of, you know, really like sticking it to them way more of like an advantage, way more of a positive thing to do than just sitting there and quietly getting on with the game. So I think it's interesting to kind of see how the team's developing a bit, and I think it kind of it's partially because of like some of the characters, some of the Se7en players. They do find it, you know, they find it helpful to strike up that kind of rivalry. Then suddenly, every frag in game, it doesn't just become, it's a good frag, you know, for the game. It becomes something like you're really, really driving to do, stick it to him, you know, prove a point.
Now, we will be carrying on our coverage. We've got still a low bracket game to cover. There's going to be a decider, but we still need to see if, based on what those players are going to be or what those teams are going to be, because there's 2 matches that still haven't been played, and the game we're covering is obviously the result of those 2 matches. So we can't really get into the thick of things like that. We can have a look at logs if you want to kill a bit more time.
Oh, we're going to go straight there anyway. Yeah, I think, you know, like we mentioned, like Bear mentioned, like Habib being an absolute powerhouse, but I think it's like, it seemed to be that game, Banny was kind of very similar to how we saw Tiger playing earlier on that Badlands game against Feint. It just seemed to be, he was so influential in so many situations. He was just, he was able to get so many key frags, but more than that, kind of live in so many situations where, you know, he'll be like, you know, he'll go in, he'll kill a soldier, he'll like dodge 2 scouts, he'll still, you know, keep that beam on him, and, you know, maybe he'll take a bit more resources than like the average scout, but he really, really drives his team forward. He's such a strong, confident leader for his team.
There. I mean, you got to help us out here. Clearly, we need some help. Is there any sort of whispers you can tell us? Maybe there's some sort of incantation we can kind of whisper into Banny's ear, and he'll stop, like, putting out about 300 damage per minute.
Yeah, there's actually a secret saying. You just got to say, "I hate idiots," and then suddenly he's done.
No.
That's the kryptonite for Banny.
I mean, if you could you see Se7en and Froyo like fighting off again in the finals, or do you think some other team is needed to kind of step up and like take the throne against Froyo?
I see Se7en and Froyo definitely being together again in the finals. I think only for the sake of the intercontinental rivalry for Rewind with the food poisoning. And, you know, they have a sort of history together. So as much as I would want someone to upset Se7en and be like the newcomers and challenge Froyo, like, it's got to be for the history, you know, the lore. Like, you need to have the Se7en Froyo rivalry.
The storyline's just too good, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we can put these logs away now. The numbers are making me sick. But now, I know that me and Eeply, we're very, very excited because we're actually casting the next game. But for us to cast, we actually have to make our way over to that point over on that casting desk.
We would, wouldn't we?
But it's not going to be happening just yet. And I don't think there's going to be many instances where I'm going to get Bear on the sofa and Eeply on the sofa again. So, you know, I'm just going to ask you some general line questions, just kind of see how you're doing. And basically, so far, Bear, what is your favorite? Like, you're quite a regular now to these iSeries events. You're here more than me. And
practically.
Like, yeah. What are you enjoying about this LAN in particular? Is there anything that's standing out from this LAN at all, from all the backdrops, all the history that you've kind of visited in the past?
I think it's about the same as last year, honestly, for me, because the last 3 years I've just came here and played soldier, scout for open teams. So me personally, I just come, have fun, mess around off class, get drunk with the friends, you know, just having a good time. But as far as the competition goes, I think it's amazing to have so much, like in the invite group, there usually isn't such high contention between third, fourth, fifth. There's so many upsets this year. So I was standing behind the bus crew, watching Swift, watching all those guys, and it was like, I couldn't tell who was third, I couldn't tell who was fourth. Like, it was a mess trying to figure out what's going on. So it was cool for me to watch so many different teams that were all such high skill level, going in and out and getting upsets with each other and stuff. So I thought between last year, at least, it was kind of sort of low pander, and then, yeah, it was a lot more clean cut last year. This year it's kind of a toss up.
Okay. Equally, LAN. When you got LAN, you're going to see new people. Everyone has got to start going LAN for the first time. Was there anybody you've met at this particular LAN, someone new for the first time? You're like, wow, that guy's pretty swell. I didn't really know about that guy until, you know, going from the online to the offline aspect. Anybody impressed you just in that LAN spirit?
It's been quite a lot of people. I'm probably going to upset people if I start mentioning people because I'll forget some others. I will give a specific shout out to, it was halfway through the Se7en game and I saw the back of Urpa's shirt saying twitch.tv/Urpa. So shout out to Urpa, Stills and Skyper, who I met and hugged halfway through that Se7en game and who were just as passionate about the result of that game as I was. But, you know, just every LAN I get to like meet new people for the first time. Like it's so good to see, and then like you kind of meet them halfway to your computer and, you know, have a chat and whatever, and then everyone will end up in that crowd right at the front, and it just makes it like, to me, I think it's awesome playing the games, but like watching the games at LAN is just so much fun. Like I just watch basically every single game I can. Like, you know, we get moved around each year, you know, we'll be in this place, that place, whatever. It doesn't matter if we have like 10 or 20 or like 100 chairs, they will always fill. There will always be like 50 people just like standing around there, and like the hype for that Se7en Froyo game was just like incredible. I think it's always just so nice to have such a fantastic crowd who are just like genuinely really, really passionate about like seeing the game.
Okay, now we'll probably head on over to some extra content because I've been working tirelessly whilst I've been off this couch. I've been doing like little extra games here and there, and god damn it, I want to show off some a bit. And I know you guys got, you know, friends, family that you want to probably return to as well. And me and Eeply need to at some point get onto that desk. So I think this will be a nice segue, but we'll just leave it with one last question between both of you. We've got 4 teams left fighting in this lower bracket. We're not sure who's quite won it yet, but I'm just going to give you like a pick a mix sort of thing. Who do you want to see in like the next game fighting off? You've got your choices of Swift, Bus Crew, or Electro, and Faint Gaming. What are the names you want to hear?
I gotta go for the Bus Crew. They're my homies, you know.
Bus Crew? Okay.
They might not
Who do you
make
want
it,
them
but
to
I
fight
believe
off
in them.
against?
I believe in them, man.
Who are they going to slay in the next lower bracket? Who are they likely to meet?
I don't actually know who they play.
Well, they've got, again, it might be, actually, I don't know off the top of my
It's the
head.
winner of some game, right?
Yeah, it'll be probably either Faint Gaming or something
I
like
don't care who they're playing. I believe
Just
in
Bus
them.
Crew all the way.
Bus Crew all the way, man. I'm a fanboy.
How about you, Eeply? Is there any team that you've got your heart on in that 4?
I'm as interested as anyone in like this whole Faint storyline because people have been talking about that a lot, but I think the one I'm most interested in is Swift. We saw like that big upset against Or Electro earlier. I'll be really interested to see whether that team can come back and like show their true form, because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, that Or Electro game wasn't the Swift that we know. And I'd like to think that, you know, they've had time to sit down and, you know, kind of take a step back and look at everything that happened. And I'd love to see a game where they just, you know, they dominate one of these like slightly lower predicted teams and really prove a point, really prove, you know, the reason a lot of people were predicting them to be, you know, minimum 3rd place at I63.
Well, I'm gonna shout out to Aura Electro. I feel like they've just got that LAN energy about them, and they've really been pulling off at least enough upsets. Like, you should be able to punch so many upsets on like a coffee card and like, yeah, 1 ticket to the grand final, please. So I'm gonna join the Aura train all the way. Choo-choo. So we're gonna head on over to our extra content. We're gonna have to say goodbye to Fanny, and I've been told the B word. I hope it's not the B word, the break word.
Ooh,
break word.
We have no content. All right, fine. We'll go to a break. I'll break my promise. But, you know, we've got the Banny squash. Yeah, well.
It's wonderful, Turbo. You're wonderful.
I don't want to go to a break. Okay, fine. We'll go to a break.
Give my mans a break.
Okay. Just a small break. See you soon.